Hi, Professor Pistone here, and today we're going to talk about persecution, the definition of persecution within the context of asylum. So when we think about persecution, there are three things to consider. One is what? What are the persecutory actions? The harm or the persecution, the actions that the client suffered. The second is who. Who is the actor? Who's the persecutor? And in some cases, who's the victim? And third, the question is where? Where did the persecution take place? So let's get to it. What constitutes persecution? Well, interestingly, there's no statutory definition. Crafters intentionally left the definition of persecution undefined because of the evolving nature of harms that people suffer. One thing that we do know is that the infliction of suffering or harm can constitute persecution, and it could be a lot of different forms of punishment. Severe, pervasive discrimination or harassment could constitute persecution, as could economic deprivation or resistance to societal norms, so being forced to do something that society expects, like engage in a forced marriage or wearing particular clothing or forced sterilization or abortion. That's all has been found to constitute persecution. So again, the first question is, what are the persecutory acts? The second question is who? Who's the persecutor? Who's the person that was responsible for these persecutory acts? So usually it's either the government or a group, a subset of the government, or a group that the government is either unable or unwilling to control, a private actor that the government is unwilling or unable to control. So in the context of a private actor, which is the harder thing to establish, we need to establish, when the persecutor is a private actor, that the government is unable or unwilling to control that actor. And how does one do that? Well, did the applicant report the abuse to the government? What was their reaction? Are there any laws that prohibit this action? Or is it a cultural, willful blindness to this type of action? Those would all be examples of situations when the government is unable or unwilling to control the persecutor. Another thing to think about is who is the victim. So we have who is the persecutor, who's the victim. Sometimes a parent could be, or a partner in a domestic relationship could suffer persecution when the harm was not directly directed at them, but was directed at someone else in the family. And then the third question in the analysis is where? Where did the persecution take place? Is it countrywide, or did it take place in a particular part of the country? And would it be possible for the client to safely relocate and reasonably relocate to another part of the country? When the government is the persecutor, the presumption is that the persecution is countrywide. But when it's a private actor, we also need to prove that they can't relocate to another part of the country. Okay, cheers. See you next time.